Stephen A. Smith's claim that he would have immediately swung at LeBron James if touched is a pretty explosive statement. We need to consider whether this was a literal threat, a moment of hyperbole fueled by anger, or perhaps even a calculated attempt to further escalate the drama and maintain his position in the narrative. Given Smith's personality and history of making strong, often theatrical statements, it's possible this was an exaggeration to emphasize his feeling of being disrespected and potentially intimidated by LeBron's courtside approach. However, even if it wasn't a literal threat he intended to carry out, especially considering his own admission of likely getting beaten, it reveals a significant level of anger and a feeling that LeBron crossed a line. It suggests that Smith felt genuinely confronted and perhaps even felt his personal space was invaded, leading to a visceral reaction, even if he knew better than to physically engage. This statement, regardless of its literal intent, definitely amplifies the tension between these two figures. In contrast to Smith's fiery outburst, LeBron's response on Instagram, a video of Smith training, seems almost understated. Was this truly a subtle jab, perhaps implying that Smith, despite his tough talk, might not be in LeBron's physical league? Or could it be interpreted as LeBron almost finding the situation amusing or not wanting to further escalate things publicly in a direct verbal confrontation? LeBron is usually very strategic with his public statements, and this relatively low-key response might indicate that he feels he made his point on The Pat McAfee Show, and doesn't need to engage in a shouting match through social media. It could also suggest a level of confidence and perhaps even a dismissal of Smith's more aggressive rhetoric. The ambiguity of LeBron's post adds another layer of intrigue to the situation. The feud also highlights the interesting power dynamics that exist between superstar athletes and prominent media personalities. LeBron James is one of the most powerful and influential athletes in the world, with a massive platform and a dedicated fanbase. Stephen A. Smith, on the other hand, wields significant influence through his platform on ESPN and his own popular shows. While LeBron's power comes from his athletic achievements and cultural impact, Smith's power lies in his ability to shape public opinion and drive narratives within the sports world. This conflict can be seen as a clash between these two forms of power, with each individual trying to control the narrative surrounding their interaction and the underlying issues. Conflicts between athletes and the media are nothing new. Athletes often feel that the media scrutinizes them unfairly, takes comments out of context, or crosses personal boundaries. Media personalities, on the other hand, often see it as their job to provide honest, and sometimes provocative, analysis and commentary. Even if it's critical, these clashes can be fueled by the high stakes of professional sports, the intense public interest, and the often differing perspectives of those inside and outside the competitive arena. In this specific case, the added layer of family, Bronny James, makes the situation even more sensitive and personal for LeBron. It's worth considering the potential motivations behind both LeBron's and Smith's actions. LeBron's fierce defense of his son seems rooted in a genuine desire to protect his family from what he perceives as unfair criticism. His comments on McAfee's show emphasized this protective instinct. For Stephen A. Smith, his outspoken commentary is a key part of his professional persona. He's known for his strong opinions and willingness to say what he believes, even if it's controversial. While he denies that he's fueling this for ratings, it's undeniable that these kinds of high-profile feuds generate significant attention and can certainly boost viewership and engagement for his shows. It's likely that both principle and the maintenance of their respective brands play a role in how they are handling this conflict. One of the most unfortunate aspects of this very public feud is the potential impact on Bronny James. As a young player trying to navigate the early stages of his NBA career, he's now caught in the middle of a very public spat between his father and a prominent media figure. This kind of attention and scrutiny can be incredibly difficult for a young athlete. And it's important to remember that he's likely just trying to focus on his development and contribute to his team. Hopefully, he has a strong support system around him to help him navigate this situation. It's hard to say where this feud will go from here, given the strong personalities involved and the public nature of their conflict. It's unlikely to simply disappear overnight. There could be further verbal exchanges through media appearances or social media. It's also possible that they might eventually find a way to reconcile privately. Although that seems less likely in the immediate future given the intensity of Smith's latest response. This could become an ongoing storyline in the NBA world, with occasional flare-ups whenever one feels the other has crossed a line. Fan reactions to this feud are likely to be varied. LeBron's loyal fanbase will likely side with him, viewing Smith as unfairly targeting his son. Smith's supporters, who appreciate his outspoken style, might see LeBron as being overly sensitive or trying to control the narrative. Neutral observers might find the whole thing entertaining or perhaps a bit tiresome, wishing the focus would return to the basketball itself. This kind of public conflict often divides fans and can create strong opinions on both sides. While these kinds of feuds can generate headlines and water-cooler talk, there's also an uncomfortable aspect to them. The public airing of personal grievances can sometimes feel unprofessional or even damaging to the image of the sport. While passionate debate and analysis are part of the sport's landscape, the level of personal animosity we're seeing here can be a bit unsettling for some viewers. Ultimately, while it's natural to have strong opinions on these kinds of situations, it's important for us, as viewers and commenters, to engage in respectful dialogue. We can analyze and discuss the actions and statements of public figures without resorting to personal attacks or inflammatory language. Hopefully, both LeBron and Stephen A. can eventually find a way to resolve their differences, or at least agree to disagree in a less public and confrontational manner. What are your continued thoughts on this escalating feud? Do you think either side is more justified in their position? How do you see this ultimately playing out? Share your respectful opinions in the comments below. And as always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more in-depth sports analysis. We'll catch you in the next video. Yo, basketball fans, hold on to your hats because the beef between LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith just took a wild turn. This video is diving into Stephen A.'s absolutely explosive response to LeBron's comments on the Pat McAfee show, and you are not going to believe what he said. As this video reminds us, LeBron went on McAfee's show to talk about his on-court confrontation with Stephen A. over comments about his son, Bronny, but Stephen A. clearly wasn't done talking. This video highlights Stephen A.'s fiery response on his own YouTube show, where he didn't just defend himself, he went on the offensive. The most shocking part? Stephen A. claimed that if LeBron had touched him during their courtside exchange, he would have immediately swung at the Lakers superstar. He even admitted he would have gotten his ass kicked. But the point is, he wasn't backing down. This video also points out that Stephen A. doubled down on his stance about Bronny James needing more development in the G League, calling LeBron a liar for suggesting otherwise. He's clearly not happy with how LeBron framed the situation. And it didn't stop there. As this video shows, LeBron responded to Stephen A.'s comments with a playful Instagram video of Smith working out. But the underlying tension is definitely still there. So, what do you think about this escalating feud? Is Stephen A. going too far? Was LeBron out of line? Could this thing actually turn into a real-life showdown? Let us know your predictions in the comments below. This is NBA drama at its finest. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on this ongoing saga.